Hello and welcome to a lesson in 10 minutes, a program for CBSE students of English class 12. Today's lesson is My Mother at 66, poem by Kamala Das. We are going to begin. Let me share the screen. Okay, so My Mother at 66. The theme of the poem is aging and mortality. The poet is going to tell us about her aging mother. 66 is her age, but she looks much older than that. She looks as old as 66 is what the poet is saying. But the poet is telling us that her mother is about to die, mortality. The theme of the poem is that, aging and mortality. The poet realizes that her mother is growing old, perhaps dying. There is the fragility of life coming up as a theme in this poem. Human life is very fragile. It can break at any time. Then, fear of losing loved ones as they grow older. These are the themes of the poem in general. The poem has some comparisons and contrasts. In fact, we can say that the central point of this poem is this, the comparisons and the contrasts in it. There are two comparisons and two contrasts. The mother is compared to the late winter's moon, when the moon looks very pale, hazy, misty, the winter moon. Similarly, the mother looks pale. Pallor is paleness and fragile. Another comparison is with a corpse. Mother looks lifeless, lack of vitality. And the contrast you can see on the right side of the screen is with the sprinting trees and the spilling children. Both see the words used, sprinting and spilling. Sprint, run fast. That's full of energy. The energetic nature outside the car in contrast to the lack of energy inside the car. Spilling children, spilling gives you the imagery of overflowing, fullness of life. That's what children are. They represent, they symbolize the fullness of life. Then coming to the other parts of the poem, there's an emotional conflict in this poem. Basically, it is about that essentially it is about that emotional conflict. The poet experiences a mix of emotions. There is love, there's concern for mother, and there is the poet's helplessness. She can do nothing about her mother's old age and physical weakness. The poet suppresses her grief with a smile. At the end, you can see that word smile and smile and smile. Repetition. It's a forced smile. Then another theme here is the childhood fear. The poet mentions my childhood fear. It is the fear of separation and resultant anxiety. Every child fears being separated from mother. And this childhood fear can come back to us at any time. It returns to the poet at this time, when she thinks that her mother may not live long. And this fear is a recurring motif in the poem. A motif is a repeated idea, message, theme in any discourse. This fear of being separated from mother comes again and again through the lines. It points to the inevitability of parting, separating. Life often is about meeting and parting. Then, the tone of the poem, nostalgia and melancholy. The poet reminisces about her bond with her mother, and there is nostalgia in that. And there is an underlying sadness because the time is running, like the trees sprinting. And soon a time may come when she will have to say goodbye to mother forever. Now, the poetic techniques, first of all, this is written in free verse, means no rhyming, no meter. The rules are not followed, it's just free. Another poem written in free verse in our syllabus is Keeping Quiet. Then there are similes used in this poem. Corpse, like that of a corpse, the poet says, a comparison. Simile is a comparison, you know. As a late winter's moon, another comparison. Then imagery. Imagery is descriptive language, a language which brings to us certain stimuli. It could be sensory, it could be visual, it could be auditory. Okay. Here we have sprinting trees, spelling children, which can also be considered as metaphors because a metaphor is an implied comparison. Okay, that's all. I think we come to the end of this poem. At the end, there is optimism in spite of the fear, in spite of the tone of melancholy, sadness. There is hope at the end that the poet will meet her mother again when she returns. That's all. Thank you. You can see more of these 10-minute lessons at this channel. Bye.